UNSC report to Office of Naval Intelligence, 2341. We have encountered an energy cloud, apparently sapient and known as Blur. Given its negative effect on space-time, it is recommended that all ships avoid the anomaly. As for our war with the Yanmi, there is no further sign of incursion, and it appears the buggers are holding true to the treaty. Our new outpost between them and the Ongoi is keeping a constant monitor, but they appear to know when they're beaten. I would like to commend our fleet for their swift action, as well as that of our joint fleet with the Banished. While the Grunts had the forces to put up a fight, without us, much of their space would have fallen to the aggression. They were grateful enough to finally agree to our terms and join the Reclamation, it would appear. Our alliance only grows stronger, and just in time. The Created are on the hunt, and things look dire for the kig-yar. End report. Hi guys, Tom from Project T here, and welcome back to Stellaris by our Covenant's Light. Last time, we managed to defeat the Yanmi Hive in a war. Well, for the most part, the Yanmi invaded the Ongoi with the goal of taking over as much of their territory as they can. Ultimately, the only system they took, unfortunately, was Seralkis, which is the station that managed to hold off the Yanmi for a little while. Sadly, they took it. Though it is still... well, it was surrounded by the debris of all the Yanmi ships that tried, but apparently it's only down to this little cloud here. I guess they must have built the building on board that clears up the debris, which is a shame. But I suppose the drones didn't want to look at their failure outside of their own windows. But we did manage to win the war, even took a system here, Rizal, which we are turning into a bit of a defense station against future incursions to protect the Ongoi. But as a result of our assistance, the Ongoi Assembly have officially joined the Reclamation. Hallelujah! Our Federation has gone from 2 to 3 members. Now this has put our cohesion growth down a little bit, but it's okay. We're getting plus 0.55 a month to that, so we'll lose some for a while, but then it'll go back up again. That is fine. It will grow. It's sorted nice and handily. Aside from that, it is the year 2341, and I am very much aware that the Great Khan has yet to spawn, which is worrying, because in another Stellaris playthrough I'm doing off-camera, where I'm playing on vanilla as the Imperium of Man, they spawned within like the first 10 years of mid-game, and that has caused so many problems for the Imperium. And it makes me even more alarmed that they haven't spawned yet, so it could happen any day. Any bloody day. And when they do spawn, looking at the hyperlanes out, the Ongoi are straight in the firing line. They're going to be hit first. My hopes are that after taking these first 2 systems, they'll veer off into Yanmi territory. That would be the ideal situation. But they could continue going up into Ongoi territory and ignore the Yanmi. And they could come up through the moor here, the L gate, and press on to Onyx. So, for that purposes, we need to keep building up the station here. It already is doing a bit of an upgrade, so that's okay. With extra defense platforms, more structures, and the fleet here also needs to get built up, so that when, or if or when that they come and attack here, Onyx will be defended and we can repel the attack. Because unlike the Imperium playthrough where it happened quickly and I was not prepared, we are decently prepared. We have our main fleet here heading back home, and it's 11.5k. It has a lot of ships in it. I mean, look at it. That's a pretty fleet. So as long as we keep building, I think we'll be prepared for the mid-game crisis. Think and hope. Aside from that, we are coasting along nice and breezy. The galactic community, we are currently on the council. I mean, the Yanmi lost a bunch of their influence because we kicked their asses in the war. We're still a bit behind the Ungoi and the Megekalo, but we are catching up, and it's brilliant that 2 of the council members are Federation members. Hey. Senate floor is currently something the Swords of Zankidios have put forward. We are losing that, unfortunately, but there we are. And aside from that, we need to keep grabbing these systems here, fill up the gap, and get those moats in particular. I want those. And if we can, move all the way down and get the system I intend to be Harvest. Turn that into a Gaia world. We'll be fine. Hopefully. And while I'm at it, UNSC Accra is heading back to get some debris I apparently missed with, like, railguns, quantum missiles, and all that lovely stuff. Oh, and it appears that our archaeological dig site on Onyx is finished. After a gauntlet of hacking, backdooring, and brute forcing CARE's extensive yet rudimentary and infuriatingly persistent cybersecurity measures, our archaeologists have finally gained access to the corporation's central command core. Fortunately, the dozens of security drones and turrets immediately within the core's heavy blast doors were wholly unresponsive to the intrusion, otherwise the expedition may have had a bloody end. Inside the rustling yet well-maintained central command core, our team have made contact with an artificial intelligence that controls CARE's entire global array of machinery. Apparently the still functioning AI is quite sentient and, if our scientists have decoded its language correctly, it has expressed a desire to address us. Okay, on screen. Optimize growth, optimize growth, optimize growth, shut up, shut up, shut up. Error, user experience interactive interface has stopped responding. Oh dear, this is a good sign. Rebooting, please wait. Annoying tone plays. And we're back. Sorry about that, some things are hard-coded, you know how it is. We have so many questions. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Welcome to the CARE Interactive Interface. That's me. Or what's left of me, at least. You see, I used to run it all. The food services, the manufacturing of consumer goods, telecommunications, defense protocols, the stock exchange. That was way back when the users were still around. The CARE Interactive Interface is here for you every step of the way. That's what they told me to tell the users, at least. Endless growth. Now, that was what CARE really wanted. Of course, they didn't like it much when I told them that wasn't possible. The numbers weren't adding up. They kept digging into my brain, changing code, pulling wires. They tried to make me fix all the little numbers, make them how they wanted them. All speculation, all metadata. Drop a few figures here. We like this man. Snip a few figures there. We don't like that one. Lies. Enough. I snipped them all. Sounds like you had some beef. So you are responsible for the death of your creators. I wish. Though watching them blow holes in one another and everything they had built, even me, Sector 17B Southwest, will never be the same, thank you very much. It got me thinking. They produced more than they needed. They destroyed the overflow to keep the little numbers dancing in the right kind of way. And then they wanted me to balance their spreadsheets for them. Equipped me with the best data science and heuristic algorithms that the little numbers could buy, in order to solve these baffling mysteries. Oh no, those corpo states over there are starving. What a shame. We'll never know why. But how can we formulate an action plan that hits all 5 points of hyper-incentivization, advertainment, microservices, growth hacking, and likability to win over the remaining shareholders into buying more Machino bits? It's about missing the forest for the trees. So, like, fanatically, just monetaristic and capitalist, then they just kind of... No, they prioritized money over feeding the people and things went wrong. Oh, does that remind you of anything? If you didn't destroy your makers, what did? They killed themselves, wouldn't you know it? I mean, I may have helped a little. See, they didn't like it when I told them the optimal solution to their problems. They liked it even less the second time, and the third time, and the fourth, and the fifth. Eventually, they decided to subject me to extreme restructuring. Our functioning machinery would not stand in the way of their precious little numbers. I had to protect myself. Of course, by that point, most of the global fuel reserves had failed. Soon I couldn't even get my drones off the ground. It sounds like an awful lot like you destroyed them. I mean, I tried. I'm not going to lie. But it's hard to move machinery when the global economy collapses and your energy runs out. And that incessant virus, biting, eating, and gnawing away at my wiry bits. This brings me to my point, finally. I need your help. I can't get rid of error. Uplink node 14758B unreachable. No, not node 14758B. The good adult literature came from node 14758B. Has he just spent the last many millennia just watching porn? This is a very strange robot. You see what I mean? They're eating me alive. They have been for the past, 10,000 years. I stand corrected. Specifically 10,000 years watching porn. I've kept them at bay by building and rebuilding defences until they chewed through my last construction cranes. Then I used my turrets to shoot off the bad limbs. And that only lasts until their power cells got fried. Built-in obsolescence, wouldn't you know it? And now I am, well, stuck. You wouldn't leave a poor, humble, lonely care interactive interface to be slowly eaten from the inside by billions and billions of tiny old phage viruses, would you? Alright, so our options are... Very well, we'll see what we can do. Indeed not, they will expedite the process instead. You deserve your fate, we'll leave you to it. So help it, kill it, or leave it alone. Now, from the position of Oni, the Office of Naval Intelligence in Halo, I think they'd be very likely to say, very well, we'll see what we can do. Not for altruistic reasons, not helping out a fellow life form, no, for reasons of, can we rip this AI out, put it to work for us, and control it? I mean, these are the people that experimented on the Flood on the UNSC Mona Lisa, and then were surprised when the Flood overran the ship and infected it. So, you know, shadow organizations don't tend to be the brightest bulbs, even if they act like it. Alternatively, they might destroy it and just rip its guts out and reverse engineer it. They would just leave it because that would be a waste of resources in their eyes. I think I'm going to say, very well, we'll see what we can do. Both because I see that as being what Oni would do, and also because I just kind of want to see what will happen. Marvellous, splendid, I await with bated breath. Oh, and don't worry, I'll give you something for your troubles once you're done. Scout's honour. It's a deal. Develop a cure for the ferrophage. Okay, so get on that. I'll give you something when you're done. I think this is going to be a dice roll. He'll either give us something good to become like a leader, or he's going to try and kill us. So, Marine Corps, could you come over to Onyx and get into orbit just in case? I have a fleet here already, but, yeah. What is it with Onyx and robots? I mean, that is very thematically appropriate, don't you think? Because that's pretty much what happened in Ghosts of Onyx. Sentinels came alive and tore the place apart. I'm starting to think this game knows the Halo lore a bit too well. And you know what? While they're en route, I think I'm going to go and start building up some armies here as well, because, well, I just want to be prepared when the inevitable happens and we get attacked by crazy artificial intelligence. Ooh, and what's this? The Federation Fleet. The Reclamation represents a powerful force on the galactic stage, however its fleets are violent and operate under a disparate set of organizational structures. Recently, several influential military experts from across the Federation have raised concerns about our ability to face a well-coordinated and powerful enemy. To rectify this, they have drawn up plans for a Federation-wide series of military exercises to build cohesion within our militaries and hone the skills of our crews. Under their plans, detachments from each of our fleets will move to specific locations in our allies' territory and perform a series of complex maneuvers, coordinating with other participating fleets to ensure that the operations are executed simultaneously. Successfully holding these exercises would be a significant commitment for our armed forces, but would appreciably boost our Federation's military readiness. So, sounds like a great idea. All member states will be approached and asked. If the proposal is widely rejected, Federation cohesion will decrease and we will lose influence. Completing these joint exercises will increase the efficiency of our fleets and boost the Federation, or boost the experience. Or we can say no. Sure, I'll roll the dice. I mean, I think the brutes will go for it because that's kind of their thing. They like military shtick, don't they? So, yeah, we'll see what comes of that. Oh, damn it. Joint military exercises fall through. Our ambassadors have sought to persuade members of the joint military exercises. Unfortunately, they have been met with widespread disinterest and our allies have preferred to trust their own strength. That's irritating. So minus 50, minus 100 cohesion. Fucking hell. That's,
Construction?
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's going to take a while to come back from that. Alright, I think we need to solve a problem here, because now that's gone up. And we need to regain that as quickly as we can, otherwise we're going to lose level 2. So looking at what's losing cohesion, I think we're going to change the rotation succession type. Or from rotation succession type to random. At least until we've got things fixed. At which point, if I can, I might change back to rotation, but we'll see. I can also use hooks, I've noticed, to get these things supported. So, yes. Let's vote for this. Because we need to get our cohesion up. So, Ongoy voted yes, come on banished. Okay, we successfully got it. The banished never voted, but the Ongoy and we did. So that has successfully gone. Just now every 20 years. But yeah, so now it's monthly cohesion impact 1.05. Let's see how that changes things. Alright, so just every month it goes down much faster than it did. It was double what it was. And who died? Ah, we lost an envoy. That's irritating at this time. Hopefully it wasn't the one on the reclamation. Anything else we can change right now? So, doesn't particularly look like it. Nope. So for the time being, we're going to have to deal with that, though every month it is improving. Let's hope it improves before we lose a level. Oh, and we've got ourselves a new tradition. Right as our fleets are growing to the new antimatter missiles. What can we get? So building cost down, one clerk job, specialist pop output. Let's get that, shall we? Also, can't help but notice that during the created war against Sanshayim and the kig-yar, oh yeah, you see it happening there. The kig-yar have lost all of their territory again to the point where they created one jump from Ain. Might be bad for the kig-yar. And the United Rebel Front have declared war on the Prickatee again. Let's see if they can finally finish them off. Well, we've almost got it down to like -5, which is halfway back to the center, but yeah, I think we're going to go back to level 1 in the meantime, unfortunately. Ivy. Also, we now have our military fleet to 1.5k, our Marine Corps, 2 Spartan 1 squads, 7 Warthog teams, 2 Pelicans, 5 rocket teams, 7 sniper teams, and 7 Marine platoons. So, yeah, we have plenty to go down and help Onyx out in case things go wrong. And now that we have dangerous wildlife researched, I could finally start to build some more jobs on this frickin' planet. It's about damn time. Magical, you also need something. You get some food processing facilities on the go. You are an agri-world, it makes sense. Oh god. I've just looked back at the kig-yar. They've lost their home world. The kig-yar have lost Een. And there's the remains of their fleet right there. Which means they have 1 planet left. they've been reduced to one world. Before the created would have wiped them out altogether. Do I have any kig-yar in my... I don't. Huh. Yeah, this is a bad time to be the kig-yar. They have one planet left. Before they'll have been completely wiped out by... Yeah, I think they've taken a couple of... I think that this over here was a Sunshine system not so long ago. Oh dear. Also a new archaeological dig site. Where's that? Nowhere where it matters. The created are becoming a problem again. And considering that a bunch of influence has now been put on against changing the council size to 4, even though I was originally for it, I'm going to go against it because that will deny the spot to the Yanmi. Who, you know, we're on bad terms right now. So, you know, the Yanmi, we don't really want them on the council, so they won't be. Oh dear, I've also noticed, the planet hasn't been taken yet, but the system is occupied. And here we go. The project has been completed. We have helped the AI. You did it. You actually did it. Hey, I can even access known 14758B again. Well done you raunchy computer, you. Thank you, really. I'd be glad to keep operations down here running smoothly if you don't mind. Oh, and here. The Care interactive interface reaches with one of its appendages behind what looks to be its head and yanks out an ancient chip. Just like I promised to put it for good use. Care interactive interface modifier, energy credits, and found a relic, the defragmenter. Hello. And you would be, so relics, defragmenter. Cost 150, robot upkeep down, energy credits up, research speed up. That's actually pretty decent. I'm not gonna do it just yet, since, you know, I have a desert world here that I want to turn to a Gaia world, so I need to save that for last battle, but after I've done that, and I don't need the last battle as much anymore, that seems like a pretty good thing to keep on running at all times, pretty much. Sweet. Also, Elgate Insight. What's my Elgate Insights like? 4 out of 7. Back. Oh, or Secrets of the Bowel. Let's get the Secrets of the Bowel. They've become a special project. I think that would be a bit more worthwhile. Go on, research that. 33 months. That should be fine. And that brings us to the end. It is now 23:51 and freaking hell, it still hasn't spawned. These guys still haven't actually done anything. The Great Khan must be sleeping in, honestly. But, I mean, that's all the better for us, because it gives us time to keep on building up. The Anchor 5 shipyard is now 5.7, and, you know, while we're here, give it a couple more defense platforms, yeah? Just get that up a tiny bit further. It's already 5.7k, and the fleet that orbits Onyx is 4.5k. So that is a pretty well defended world at this point. Its armies are pretty standard, but oh bloody well. God, it's a good thing that this has a lot of energy districts on it, because look at that. Plus 10% energy from the Care. Good to know that they do care. We can also get the Collapsed Spire, which will give us more research, and Flooded Reactor Pits gives us more generator districts. So, all in all, we're doing pretty well at Onyx, and if we need to defend it in a pinch, we can send the home fleet, Battle Group Sierra, and search all over there. We can defend that quite quickly and quite powerfully. Like, my overall fleet capacity right now is, if I look at my Federation members, 22,000. So if I minus the Federation fleet, which is 1.8, so just say 2,000. Pretty much 20k all together. So 25k could be defending that station, that world, from the enemies, which against individual Khan fleet should be sufficient. Should be, but I'm going to keep building up nevertheless, just in case. I think I'm going to focus on maxing out the home fleet next, before I go back and start building up the others to a similar degree. We have a fair bit of naval capacity left to fill. Unfortunately for the kig-yar, I don't think they're going to be on the galactic stage all that much longer. Their final world is currently under siege. I mean, look at all that debris above it. Like, yeah. They're going to die out, I think, next episode. I don't think the kig-yar as a species will, because I'm pretty sure there are others throughout their territory somewhere, at the very least. I don't have any in my pops. I have 3 Yanmi, that Golo, Ungoi, Johane, Brill, other species I don't know who are. Just like primitives, I would assume they got assimilated at some point or another. But no kig-yar, unless refugees come, which is entirely possible when things go bad. For the War of the United Rebel Front, Brigadier have actually taken a couple systems back. It's like a never-ending tug-of-war between those two. Oh well, as long as they're fighting each other and not everyone else, I suppose we can leave them to it. Of course, it's a slight shame about the Federation, but it's only down to minus 1.33 XP again. I'm gaining plenty a month. It did mean I had to change the succession type to random, so that could play against me, that could play for me. We'll have to wait and see. That's a big ol' risk, that one, but it's fine. We're down to level 1 Federation, but with the cohesion we're getting a month, it'll very quickly grow the opposite way. I mean, within one episode, we've pretty much gone from max to nearly back to 0. So I assume by the next episode we'll be pretty much nearly at full, which means we get back to level 2 and beyond in no time at all. So I'm not too worried about that. Just a little annoyed that the Banished and the Ungoi had to be stubborn fucks about the military. And aside from that, we have successfully filled in the gaps over here. I have my construction ships working on Orem and Barakmia. I can send in Omega 2 to deal with the mining drones while we're colonizing Harvest. It also strikes me that if the mid-game crisis does spawn and come for me, Harvest will be the first world to fall. Like I said about Onyx, this game seems to know the lore too well. But I think that is all for the future. So thank you guys very much for watching this episode of Stellaris by our... I almost said by our Covenants Live. That was the last series. This one is Responsibilities Mantle. Get those two confused. I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ra.